everybody, this is John, and another Pokemon video coming up here. Hopefully we can learn something from other people's mistakes, which is the best way to learn, really, because you get to laugh, get to make fun of them, and hopefully you never do it yourself, or you'll feel foolish. So the opponent on the far end is going to be named RK, and I don't know anything about the names. We're going to leave with the Politoed here, so we get to see a Drizzle team. Hooray! I do love seeing Drizzle teams, yes. So I like to see any weather teams. I like to see gimmicky strategies, basically. He's going to respond. He's got the Lucario on the other side. He's going to Nasty Plot. So this is another special attacking Lucario. There's another one in the other videos. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. It's just as interesting as this one. Lucario, always a Pokemon I always thought as a physical attacker before I knew any better. So he's going to use, what was that, Water Spout? Or not Water Spout, but whatever it was. It did a ton of damage. Focus Sash going to live it. Obviously Lucario, not really afraid of that too much. He's going to be a little Aura Sphere here. It's going to do a lot of damage, especially after that Nasty Plot. It's going to do a lot of damage. Politoed is a bulky Pokemon. You can make it bulky, extremely bulky. Like, it would have lived that without a problem. It was Ice Beam the first time. No, it wasn't. It was not Ice Beam. He obviously wanted to make sure it hits the second time, so he used Ice Beam the second time. First time, I don't know what it was. Sorry about that. It was a water move. It did decent damage. So, anyways, Politoed is a bulky Pokemon. A lot of people use the Choice Scarf variant, though, so they can get off attacks. Obviously, this is not the Choice Scarf variant, but it is not a bulky variant either, judging by its health, judging by how much damage that, well, I don't know, that was after a Nasty Plot. So, either way, Politoed gets to set up its rain. In comes Thundurus. I believe Thundurus. Which a lot of people don't like because that's Prankster, and that's, you know, Prankster. I don't know, it goes first, whatever. You have to get over that, I suppose. And in comes Nidoking. Nidoking is obviously going to use Ice Beam. Not obviously, gets a critical hit with it, and it's going to kill off Thundurus in one shot. Thundurus too busy fucking around with the setup, and not enough time attacking. This is what the mistake a lot of players make. They spend too much time setting up. We've already seen a Nasty Plot, and Nasty Plot, well, two Nasty Plots actually, and neither are paid off yet, so see what we got going on here. Politoed comes in now. Politoed does go straight into the Scald. Unfortunately, Ferrothorn did come in, and it's not going to do any damage at all, barely. His best bet is really if he can get Scald to burn. Politoed can't really have anything happen to him from Ferrothorn, so I'm kind of wondering why I switch. Obviously, Grass Knot, not going to do damage. Oh, he's carrying Power Whip instead of the Grass Knot, which is Grass Knot we see just as often, I think, on Ferrothorn. Unfortunately, Power Whip would have done a lot of damage. Grass Knot, not so much. So it was a good switch into named after the legendary sword of Ireland, the Calibulk. It's gonna Caesar going to use Swords Dance, and he really is a legendary sword. If there was any, Ferrothorn just used Thunder. You know it's a rain team when everyone's just busting out Thunder, like everyone's carrying Thunder on the whole team. That's definitely, he got paralyzed too, so Caesar's in a bit of trouble here actually. So we'll see how much this Thunder does. It's gonna do decent. It's not gonna kill him, but is this really a Ferrothorn? Makes me wonder if I'm not getting fucked around with a Zoroark again, but I'm not. It really is Ferrothorn. He's gonna use Brick Break. Brick Break, obviously for fighting coverage on Caesar, probably not a bad move, but everyone dies in that battle because of Iron Barbs. Iron Barbs is another strength of Ferrothorn. It makes you want to put a spiked helmet on him just so you can punish people who want to hit you. And comes another Ferrothorn, so everyone carries a Ferrothorn, everyone carries a Politoed. Probably everyone's carrying a Caesar too. I wouldn't be too surprised by that. You can use Ice Beam on the Ferrothorn. It's held up its red card. Out goes Politoed. Interesting. That's definitely a different maneuver to put that on there. In comes Metagross. Metagross can't really do anything unless he's carrying a, I think it's Meteor Smash, or Hammer Arm. Gonna do a lot of damage if it has either of those. He does use Thunder Wave. He's gonna paralyze it. Metagross already slow enough, so that's kind of a strange move. If he can get paralyzed, though, it's not gonna be a bad thing. He did use the Thunder Wave against the Politoed, so in any case, he's gonna set up spikes the second time. Now we're gonna see. I believe it was Rock Polish. No, well, okay, so it was Sharpened Claws. Sorry about that. Looked like Rock Polish. He got all shiny, so he does avoid the. He does avoid the Leech Seed the first time, and the second time. That's pretty major. Now his accuracy is going to be pretty good. He's going to have high attack. Obviously, Metagross doesn't have access to Swords Dance, but that's as close as he's going to get. He's gonna go ahead and hit him. Doesn't do too much damage. He gets hurt with Iron Bars, probably more than it was worth to even attack there. If I were him, I'd just go ahead and set up a Ferrothorn's face here. I know earlier I talked about not setting up and attacking, and now I'm going to go ahead and say the exact opposite. There you go. Go ahead and set up, buddy. No, you can't do anything to you. You can set up his Leech Seed. Leech Seed, if it hits, is going to be problems. I think he finally did hit with it. Well, it took him 4 or 5 times, which is unusual. Leech Seed does not have that bad of accuracy, so usually you can hit with it the first time. So if you're unlucky, you'll miss once. If God hates you, you'll miss 5 times, like this guy. So I don't know what he did in the eyes of the Lord, but he did something wrong. He's going to go ahead and set up his spikes here. Probably a good move. I don't know what the opponent has that can fly. Spikes, always good to set up. Any sort of entry hazard, always good to set up. He doesn't have Stealth Rock up yet, but he might have another Pokemon that has it. Iron Barbs, again, doing a lot of damage. That time actually making it worth off. He's got leftovers on the Metagross, which is interesting in that it's probably not the best move. Metagross is a bulkier Pokemon, though, so he can make use of the leftovers because he can take a couple hits at least before dying. So there we go. 3 layers of spikes are now set up by Ferrothorn, and now Ferrothorn probably needs to start attacking. The paralysis is going to be a problem here now, and the reason for that is the leftovers on Ferrothorn are going to make up for the damage that Metagross has done. And I mean, does he have leftovers and Leech Seed? Because if that's the case, he's almost definitely never going to kill this thing off. But he's going to pull it out anyways, I guess because he says, well, Metagross is pretty much fucked, and I can't do anything more with Ferrothorn, and he's probably right. So he's going to go ahead and switch right into Politoed. Metagross is fully paralyzed. If he had hit there, Politoed might have been in trouble, because unless he used something Steel typing, I don't know why he would go Steel on Steel. It wouldn't make any sense, so if he used a Steel type move, it wouldn't be very effective, and Politoed probably wouldn't die, but he didn't use any move. He's stuck in the paralysis. Metagross, that's an extremely unlucky Metagross. It did miss the Leech Seed a bunch of times, but here we go. So there's the spikes coming in handy, bringing Politoed all the way down to really one hit. Going to get hit with a Scald here too, and that's going to be the end of Politoed, I would almost certainly guarantee. Yes, it is. Politoed's dead. That was a Politoed on Politoed action right there. The closest thing you're going to see to sex in Pokemon, that was it. And Dragonite's going to come in. He can come in on the spikes, no problem. And if he has, I was going to go ahead and use Thunder because of the rain. If he has a multi-scale, there's pretty much nothing this Politoed can do to touch him, especially if he has multi-scale plus Roost. We'll see what happens here. How much this Ice Beam does is pretty much going to determine. Because Ice Beam off of anything is going to kill him pretty quickly. So that's definitely a multi-scale one. I would almost guarantee it. There's no way it would have only killed him 50% like that. So he's probably going to go... He's either going to Roost here, or he's going to Thunder again. So he's going to Thunder again. He knows he's faster. He knows he's going to win the battle. Because unless he gets a high roll... Oh, you know what? Ice Beam's going to do more damage on this end. Oh, he got so lucky. He's not paralyzed. Let's see if he's fully paralyzed. He's not... I think this Ice Beam's going to kill him now. And this will probably determine better if he's multi-scale or not. Yes, he was. And he didn't think of that, I don't think. He forgot that his damage was reduced the first time. He goes in and uses Thunder the second time. And he's going to take it reduces the damage by 50%. So he's going to take twice the damage from the second Ice Beam that it took from the first. If that really was a multi-scale one. And I'm almost certain there was. So, there you go. Jolteon's got the air balloon. He doesn't want to take a Thunder. Jolteon, rather terrifying Pokemon, especially with the air balloon. He gets rid of his only weakness, as far as I know, that I can think of off the top of my head. Going to use, what was that, Volt Switch there? Takes out Politoed, and he's going to be able to go back as well. So now we got pretty much 2 free switches. The only problem is the spikes. So Nidoking going to take some pretty decent damage here from spikes. There you go. About, what did you say, about 70 damage there, maybe more, maybe less. No, definitely not less. It was definitely more than 70. Might have been close to 80, depending on what that last digit on the 300 is. Somehow we got cut off. So either way, he's going to use Earth Power on Ferrothorn. It's going to do decent damage. Nidoking, a decent special attacker who's really seen a surge in popularity for some reason. I can't quite figure out why. He's still not the best. He's got good typing, I suppose. He does a decent job of taking hits and dishing them out. Really, that's what you want in this generation, is Pokemon that can take hits as well as hit. So, I'm going to use Earth Power again. Looks like he's locked into it. He's going to go ahead and use it twice, because it didn't work the first time. So he thought maybe this time he'll use Roost or something. I don't know. He's going to use Calm Mind instead. Calm Mind is going to make this Latios almost impossible to kill. Latios isn't a Pokemon you want to... Okay, I don't know what he's doing here. I guess he just wants you to kill him. There you go. Go ahead, play his game. He should have just set up with Calm. If I were him, I'm just going to go ahead and Calm Mind until he stops using it. So I'm going to bet that there was a choice. He was choiced into that. Choice Spectre, choice Scarfed. I'm tempted to say choice Scarfed. Otherwise, I don't know how he's faster than Latios. He got what he wanted. Unfortunately, Latios is at +1 Calm Mind, and this Bullet Punch isn't going to do enough, really. Especially if he's carrying Recover, too, on this Latios. So, there you go. Not enough damage there. He's going to go ahead and use Hidden Power again. I wasn't paying attention the first time, but maybe this is Hidden Power Fire. It's super effective, so maybe it's hidden power fighting. Let's see here. Well, it's ground and poison, so it's probably hidden power fire, I suppose. Otherwise, I don't know why it'd be super effective against both of them. Anyways, oh, sorry about that. I think I just punched my mic. I don't know if you heard that or not. But anyways, he's gonna go ahead and use hidden power, kill off Metagross here. He can probably, if he has recovery, he's gonna use it on this next turn, unless he's got his opponent really down to the last couple moves here. We will see. Just a little more, he says. Hang in there, Jolteon. So Jolteon's gonna be faster than Latios. So we'll see if he can inflict the damage he needs to. He's gonna use Shadow Ball. He does have one Calm Mind, so we'll see if this kills him. This is pretty much the battle right here. It does manage to kill it off, and I think he just won the battle with that. We will find out here. Nope, we still got this Ferrothorn left. Unfortunately, this Ferrothorn against the Jolteon, especially if the Jolteon has, well, it doesn't matter. He's going to use Thunder anyways because of the rain. Really, I would hardly call it a Drizzle team other than the fact that every Pokemon on his team was carrying Thunder, which is fairly crucial for a Drizzle team, so maybe it was. I don't know. Going to use Thunder and win. Jolteon coming in handy there, thanks, especially thanks to the air balloon, going to make him impervious to those spikes. If he has to go on those spikes too many times, he's going to be in trouble. So if you're the fire player, how do you change the battle to win? That's the question I would ask myself after all these videos, if I thought of it before now. So the question is, if I were the fire player, what do I change to win? And I think what he has to change is the Politoed on his team really doesn't serve a purpose. I didn't see too much use of Thunder and other types. I'm sure probably the Latios is carrying Thunder. Definitely the Thunderous. And that's got to be it. I'm not sure the Politoed really needs to be there for that team to be successful. He could probably switch it out with something either more bulky, something that can take a fire move, ice move. Obviously, he's got a fairly large pool of Pokemon that are weak to ice there. Obviously, Caesar can usually take him, but you don't want to take your Caesar just taking in all the ice beams, any cloisters, stuff like that. So you don't want Caesar taking a beating, basically. It's not worth it in the end. Lucario can take ice moves too. Unfortunately, his defenses are worse than Caesar's, I would say, and we saw that he died right away to a special move that was neutral. So I don't know. I mean, if you make one change to every battle that changes the whole tide of the battle, it's got to be the boost on Thunderous. If he attacks right off the bat, he probably does some damage at least him, and it might be a very different battle from there. Anyhow, well, that's it for this one. Hopefully you'll be there for the next one. I have some more to do. Thanks for watching. Bye.